Welcome back to episode number 3 of the Sovereign Talks podcast. I'm your host, the Sovereign Fisherman, and I got a special guest on this evening, guys.
Yeah.
Uh, dude, what's going on, man? How's it going?
What up? What up?
So I mean, how's it going? I mean,
Oh yeah, no,
what are
yeah,
you
well, no,
doing?
yeah, no, that's good. The guest today is I'm Isaiah Sainz. It's going good. I'm going good. I'm chilling.
Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, you're right. I think that's what I'm supposed to do is introduce you.
Yeah, everyone's
I'm
like, "Who the hell
sorry,
is
dude.
that?
You know what? I'm new to
Who
this shit. You know what I
the
mean? You
hell
got
is
to
that?
bear
Who
with
the
me.
hell is that?" Yeah.
So today, my guest today is my little brother, Isaiah Sainz.
What
So,
up? That's me.
oh, goodness gracious, man. I don't know why. I'm getting kind of nervous. You know what I mean? This is my first time doing this. So,
That's
I
cool.
even
Yeah.
got a whole bunch of notes, bro. Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
damn, bro, I don't even know why I did this shit. Like,
Yeah, you
because
got that tonight.
I wanted it to be natural. You know what I mean? Like, us just having a conversation, talking, like, just regular old conversation. But, you know, everybody's like getting this, or everybody knows that I got a podcast now. So they're, you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Devin was like, really, Dad? He's like, who's your guest? And I was like, well, Isaiah. And he's like, that's your brother.
Yeah. Good.
But so anyways, man, I don't know if you got time to like kind of see what the podcast was about, but
Oh, no, I haven't yet.
did
I,
you
I
did
was
you like
no, I haven't listened to it yet. I seen you. I clicked on that link you sent me, but I think I was at work or something, and then I didn't get a chance to like listen to anything yet. So this is my first time.
I gotcha. So just to give the listeners some I guess introduction of what the podcast is about, guys. If you haven't already seen the bio in Spotify, um just really wanted to come on here and interview and have conversations with blue collared workers, leaders, um, and just people that really I find interesting and think that this is going to be a good conversation. And that's the reason why I chose you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so I mean, let's tell everybody about yourself. I know you're my brother. We know that, but let's give everybody a summary about you. Like, I don't know how far you want to take it back. It's up to you. But as far as like your career goes, um, you know, let me ask you this: what was your first job?
Like my first like actual like paid job was I was working at a grocery store. I was at a yeah, I was working at a Thriftway supermarket. So, but that was like one of those high school jobs. It's a job, but it's not like a job. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those. All right, well, I'm bored after school. Let me get a little bit of cash. Let me make $100 every 2 weeks real quick. You know what I mean? That kind of job. But my first real job was I was working at Pollard Ford in the dealership. I was a mechanic in Lubbock, and that was cool. It didn't last too long, honestly. I started off as a lube tech, and then I worked my way up to uh, be one of the tech helpers. So that was kind of cool. Um, but eventually it just got old and that shit sucked. So it started to like be not cool anymore. so, uh, so then after that, I got into the electrical business with you. Actually, remember we started working at. I think we
Yeah, I
started.
remember,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. We started at 3S. That was cool. That was like I guess like that was like actually like the start of like my electrical career was with you. So that was real cool actually. Now that you think about it, um, did that we were at 3S for a couple months, then we went to IPS, and then I stayed at electrical for about 2 years or something like that, a year and a half, 2 years, and then I ended up going back to being a mechanic, which was a mistake in itself. I mean, it didn't work. I didn't like it the first time. What makes me think I'm gonna like it the second time? Um,
All right, hold on. Before you continue, let's go back a little bit. So you got into mechanicking, and you said you were a lube tech at Pollard Ford,
Uh,
right?
uh.
So what what made you want to be a mechanic? Like, what was what was the decision? What was your thoughts in that?
I thought cars were pretty cool, like in high school. Like a lot of me and my buddies like just got into cars, learning about cars, like the cool sports cars and shit people like to look at and talk about. And I was like, oh man, it'd be cool if I could like work on stuff like that. But you got to work your way up to that, or you got to like specialize in that. And I was like, well, I'll just start, I'll be a mechanic at first, and I'll like work on cars, and then I'll get into like being like a race mechanic or some stuff like that. And it started off as a hobby, after hours at school, going to like the school mechanic shop and like wrenching on stuff over there. And I had an old pickup that I would wrench on after school, and I thought that was really cool. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Speaking about that pickup, what year was that?
I was in 1986 Chevy Silverado, Chevy C10 with Silverado trim before the Silverado was like its own model, the C10.
The square body,
Yeah,
right?
square body. Yeah, the sick, sick.
That dude, that was a sick truck.
Yeah,
That was sick, dude.
that was a cool truck.
Uh,
Yeah. But yeah, that's really what made me want to get into being a mechanic. And once I got into it and like started to learn the industry a little bit more, I was like, man, maybe I'll just keep it as a hobby instead. Because if I do this for too long, like doing customer jobs, warranty work, I'm not gonna like it anymore. And that's exactly what started to happen. I was doing like warranty jobs and just little stuff that I just didn't really want to do. So I was like, man, this stuff's lame. Like it's like the boring stuff, like all fixing like little just little stuff on cars and stuff. And then the exciting thing for me was like the engines, the power, the suspension geometry, and stuff like that. And then the stuff that didn't interest me was all the stuff I was doing. And I was like, man, yeah, no, I'm okay. Yeah, it's boring.
right, right,
But
right.
I was like, you gotta know all that stuff to be able to like get into like a race shop or stuff like that. But I was like, in the end, I was like, man, maybe being in a race shop isn't what I want to do. I'll just do all that stuff on my own, and I'm doing it on my own on the side, like as a hobby, and it's a lot more enjoyable. I don't burn myself out with it, and then I'll get back to it. Like there's some times where I'll like not be interested in it for a little bit, and then I'll get back to it. Eventually, I'll get back to it, and I always reignite that flame somehow. So
Hell yeah,
yeah,
yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. I love that about you, honestly, man. Is because like you've always had that. Just you've never lost that passion for wanting to be a mechanic and
yeah,
work on cars,
yeah,
and like even seeing your like stories and profiles now. You got what the two Lexus. You got the two Lexus. And you just picked up a Supra.
yeah, yeah.
So I
Super.
mean, bro, it's dope to see, man. It really is.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot more
So
enjoyable.
so yeah, so okay, we'll get into that. We're gonna get into that, but I wanna. So we went from being a lube mechanic, and then you said after you kind of you said this wasn't gonna be for you, so you wanted to get into the oil and gas industry.
Yeah.
And your first like introductory job, I mean, where did you start? Where did you start working? And what were you doing?
So like in the area we were at, we were working in Eunice and like some old lease, and what were we doing, man? We were doing a lot of.
Wait. But before you started with me, didn't you start with another company?
But yeah, I was at Klein for like 2 weeks. I was there for 2 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was gonna say
I forgot
I
about that.
thought you had
Yeah,
started with somebody else,
I
but
don't ever,
I
I don't
just
really count that because like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I don't learn anything in 2 weeks. But I did.
yeah.
It was like security, like little like fire alarms and cameras and stuff like that. It was all right, but it was not cool. It was boring. So I mean, I was only there for 2 weeks.
So did you? What were you doing whenever you were there? Like, what did they have you doing?
Man, I was helping a guy out. Like if they had like trouble calls, like at office buildings or like hospitals, like oh this camera's not working or the fire alarm isn't working or simple stuff like that. Or to me, it was like just like all right, give the dude a screwdriver, and then but he was the one like he would try to teach me, but he like you could tell that he was trying to get out of it too. So he didn't really like care. He was a cool dude. He was a cool dude outside of work, but at work we just both like it was like, man, why we don't want to be here. Yeah.
But it was your first like
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that so you were considered like an apprentice at the time.
yeah. I was I guess like a security maintenance apprentice. It wasn't in oil and gas. That was just
Gotcha.
like doing around town kind of stuff. So that was all right.
Okay. So then from there,
Mm.
hey, that's whenever you started working with
Yeah,
me.
that's whenever I started working.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then
Okay.
introduction to oil and gas electrical. Yeah, then we started at Eunice at working for Apache. That was cool. I enjoyed that. That was fun. That was like the where I really like learned how to like work. So that was cool. Like I don't
Dude,
know,
we put in
man.
some long hours over
We
there.
put in some long ass hours over there and some dirty ass work, dude, and that old ass lease.
Man, that yeah, for the listeners, man, if you've never been to Eunice, New Mexico, I'm telling you, you don't want to go there
Yeah, yeah.
because that
Avoid
stuff
that
is
town.
old and broken down, and
Uh,
you'll be changing hundreds of motors on pump jacks.
100 motors, dude, and thousands of fuses and shit like that, replacing hundreds of panels and jeez, man,
Yeah.
that was a time. Yeah, with them motors, jeez, man, we got good at those. Yeah, we got
Oh,
good
dude,
at
I
motors.
know. I know.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude,
man.
do you remember? I still tell this story to this day, and you may not remember, but I'm just curious to know. Do you remember whenever that H2S started coming out of the lease road?
Dude, I talk about that shit all the time.
Bro,
Bring it up all
bro,
the
well,
time. Yeah, H2S is no joke. That was crazy.
yeah.
That
Now
was,
that I'm like, more safety oriented. You know what I mean? I'm just
yeah,
like, that's just what I talk. Like, that's one of the ones that I always bring up every time we talk about H2S. Like, it's just that it could be anywhere and everywhere, like in the most randomest spots that you could even think of. You know what I mean? What I swear we drove by it a couple of times. Our monitors were going off, and then
yeah.
that's whenever we kind of started digging. Well, because we had a takeoff fuse that we were
Yeah, yeah,
replacing.
it was like in the middle of the night. We're on a trouble call. Like we're driving over the same little spot like at least 6 times, and we're like, "Wow, it's like my monitor going off." And then I was like, "Ah, whatever. Where's that damn fuse at? Like, where's the fuck?" And then lo and behold, that damn fuse was literally like 50 feet away from that gas leak. So
Yes, dude, that was
that was crazy.
crazy, man.
That was insane. Yeah, yeah, that was.
Yeah, and I remember you telling me like you were I don't know exactly what you got hit with. You said your monitor was reading like 90 parts per million or 100 parts per million or some
Yeah,
shit like that. And I was
yeah,
like, I was like, yeah, fuck that. Oh man. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right, man. So from electrical, you then transitioned into you said back to mechanicing. Okay, so like I know it I mean, I know because you worked with me, but is there a reason why you didn't want to stay in electrical and wanted to get back into mechanicking, or you just, I mean, it just kind of spare the moment thing? You're just like, you know what? I've done mechanicking before. Now that my brother's kind of moved on and I'm off on my own, like this is what I want to do.
yeah. Honestly couldn't tell you why. I mean, I was what 20 when I went back to being a mechanic. So I mean, it's just my brain wasn't fully developed, I guess. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought going back to being a mechanic was a good idea. I really couldn't tell you why, but I did it for about another year, and then I was like, man, what the hell? Why the hell I come back for? I just wasted a year. I learned a little bit, so that was cool. I learned how to work on like newer shit, newer cars and stuff. So I got to learn some more of how some of the systems work, and some more troubleshooting. But all in all, it just still wasn't what I wanted to be a part of. And I was like, man, like, nah, this is cool. Because I went back to I went to a Lexus dealership and in Lubbock, and that was cool just because it was like Lexus, nice cars and stuff. And I had at that point I had my Lexus, my old 2001 Lexus, and I was like, oh yeah, if I could learn how to work on these, I could apply it to this one. But that car was a 2001, and it worked just as it had just as much parts as like a 1990 Honda Civic. It wasn't hard to work on at all. You didn't need to know how to work on a brand new 2023 like SUV to figure this out. It's not hard.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it was still cool. It was an experience. I met some good people over there, and I still talk to some guys that I used to work with, so that was cool. But then, yeah, I ended up just leaving and leaving that again, and then I was like, well, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And then after that,
Okay, and then you got
yeah, after that, after I quit, I went back to IPS, um, because I wanted to try to get into well, no, before I got to IPS, I wanted to go to the well, I went back to oil and gas, but this time I wanted to try to do automation. Just because you hear a lot about these automation techs and like their job's pretty cool, you learn a program and stuff like that. Like when me and you were working at together, we ended up working at Summit Midstream for Skyler, and then we would see how he would do his job, and that shit was kind of cool, honestly. It was like I remember he would show us um how he would program his stuff, and then he would show us like, look, check it out, and then it would work, and I was like, oh shit, that's cool. Um, so I eventually went back to try out automation with another company that I got on with, ProTech. That didn't last very long, only because I was considered an automation apprentice, but we didn't do no automation work. We were out here running pneumatic stainless steel tubing for like batteries. I'm like, "Yo, this
yeah,
is
yeah.
mini rustabout." Like, this is
Right,
not
right,
what I signed
right.
up for.
Hey man, and that's a lesson for a lot of these younger generation guys coming up. Like, man, if you're if you have a specific goal that you're trying to accomplish and the company that you're working for, because a lot of these companies out here, they'll do that type of stuff. Will they say that, and not this podcast, not by any means is to shit on
Oh, yeah,
anybody's
not at all,
companies,
not at all.
but like, you know what I mean? It's like they'll say this certain thing, and then you go out there and you're doing something completely different. And it's just like, bro, I didn't sign up for this shit. Like, and that's what I'm trying to say is like a lesson to take for the younger generation. Is like, dude, there's plenty of companies out there. There's plenty of work out there, man. Don't be afraid to move to another company. You know what I mean? Don't get comfortable just because, maybe you're making a steady paycheck. And yeah, I get people want to have stability and, in some people's situations are different than others, but like if you have a goal, chase after that goal and keep, striving for whatever it is you want to do. So so then you lasted there for what you say? I mean, yeah, you said not
Yeah,
very long.
I
And
think I
then
was there like
you
a month. Just cause like I ended up texting my boss. I was like, "Hey man, when do we learn to program stuff?" And I don't see any of these guys is really doing any of that kind of stuff. Like we're just running tubing, and he's like, "Oh no, like the guys out of the other office do that." I was like, "Well, I'm not. No, like I don't want to be here then if I'm not gonna if I'm not even gonna like do any of that stuff.
right.
Like what?"
You're like, what are you gonna transfer me over
Yeah,
there
like
or
I was like,
what?
man, first of all, I don't really like this ain't what I signed up for. I'm not trying to move an hour, 2 hours away right now. I was like, man, I'm gonna look for something else. And then that's when I ended up going back to IPS. I got a job there, and I called my boss. And I was gonna put in 2 weeks. I was gonna put a 2 weeks notice in, but IPS called me back. They're like, hey, we want you to start on Monday. I was like, all right, I guess. So I called my boss. I was like, hey man, I just quit. Like, I'm not coming back to this company ever again. I'm not doing that tubing shit ever again. So he's like, man, that's really unprofessional. It's like, okay, uh, sorry. Like, and I try to be as
right, right.
professional as I can,
It's
but at
just
the time I was like, nah, bro, this ain't what nah, okay, I'm good.
yeah. So then when you went back to IPS, did you start mechanicking again or what did you get
Nah,
into?
I got into fiber optics. I I honestly really don't know. It was cool. It was a cool job. I learned a lot. Um, I
Would you learn how to operate a bucket then, or did you already know how to do
yeah,
that?
no,
Like y'all mess with squirt buckets and stuff
yeah, it
like
was
that,
all
right?
square buckets. We were running it we are running the fiber optic from pole to pole. We would we would drill and connect the messenger cable from pole to pole to pole, and then we would lash the fiber with like those lashing machines. But that's all my crew did. All we did was run, like that's all we did was run fiber. And then
So y'all didn't actually
no,
splice. Y'all
no,
just
we
ran
had
fiber.
splicers, and I ended up talking to my boss again. I was like, hey bro, I see that some of the splicers saying like they got a lot of work and they like they're looking for some help. Like what if I went to go help out one of these guys and eventually like became a splicer? He's like, man, no, we really just get splicers from like I don't know, like companies that already do that kind of stuff, like Kinetic or AT&T, or they get splicers that are already established. I was like, bro, how does anybody move up? Like, this is why I left in the first place.
Right?
Like,
That's
why did I
mind
even come back
boggling,
to this
dude.
damn company? Like,
That is
it's insane. I was
crazy.
like, man, why didn't you even come back to this place? Uh,
Yeah, man, that's crazy that companies do that.
mm,
It's like, you're seeing a younger individual wanting to progress and grow and learn new things, and they kind of stop you from doing
yeah,
that. So, but hey, but then, well, you stayed working there for a little bit longer, and then that's whenever you finally got into what you're
yeah,
doing
yeah.
now.
So I eventually got like tired of just running fiber, and then I was actually thinking of getting transferred, asking to get transferred to to automation on that side, but they said they weren't looking for anybody right now. And I was like, of course, obviously. So like, let me try out power line. Let me try out being on a line crew. So I ended up getting my CDL, and once I got my CDL, they didn't want to give me a raise at IPS for having it. So I was like, okay, well, instead of getting transferred to the a line crew over here already, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna go somewhere else. So I ended up moving companies, and now I am on a line crew. I'm a lineman at a different company now. I'm at KV Power, so that's cool. Now I've been here for about 3 years now, so I finally think I found what I enjoy.
Hell
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, dude. Dude, that's a
yeah,
journey,
man.
brother. That's
Yeah, it's
like,
a journey.
dude,
There's a lot of soul searching, a lot of self reflection. Yeah, yeah. But
right?
now I'm at a point to where like, all right, I do like what I do, so I enjoy what I do. So that's cool.
So let me ask you a question. If there is a younger individual listening to this podcast, what's one piece of advice that you'd give them?
Man, don't be afraid to try new things, man. If you think you don't like what you're doing, go try something else. You're young enough to go. There's a million things out there you can do. You're bound to find something you like. So, and if you don't like any of that stuff, then try to come up with something of your own and make something out of yourself like that way. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be scared because like life does not stop for you. Just keep going, keep trying.
100%, dude.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, dude.
really,
I love that
really,
answer.
yeah, it's really what I had to tell myself too. Like, yeah. So that's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, so you had to have that conversation, or you had to have that talk
I
yourself,
did,
or
yeah,
what?
yeah. I was
You
like,
had,
man,
yeah.
I hate all this shit, and I'm like, let me try this out. Now I do like what I'm doing. I do like where I'm at.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
dude.
cool. That's cool. It's real cool.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pivot a little bit from the work
Okay.
stuff. The work stuff
Uh,
was awesome. And hey, man, congratulations. Keep on fucking hammering
yeah.
away, dude. Like, I see you doing your thing, man, and extremely
Thank
proud
you,
of you.
brother.
Uh, but I had to ask this one thing. I mean, we're sitting at 23 minutes now, dude, and I don't know if you've listened to any other podcasts. I think earlier at the beginning of the show or whatever, you mentioned that you just hadn't had the time yet. But um, I did record two episodes, and I said I just wanted to hit like 15, 20 minute marks. We're already at 25 minutes. I'm
Shit.
like, God dang, now that was
Yeah, for
fast.
real. Flew by like that.
When we're
Yeah.
talking, yeah, dude, it's crazy. We just be talking, and I'm like,
I
God
know.
dang. But Devin wanted me to ask you something. He wanted me to ask you what your plans were with the cars you have.
Okay.
And for those that don't know that are listening, fill us in on the cars that you do have.
Okay, so the cars that I do have, well, right now I'm just in my truck. It's like my daily driver, is my baby. But other than that, I have a 2001.
Hold on, hold on, hold
Okay.
on, hold on. Hold on. You gotta tell them what truck it is. You gotta tell them
Oh
what
yeah,
truck it is.
it's a 2018 Toyota Tundra, the best, the truck
Hell
of
yeah.
trucks. It is the best truck
Hell
ever come
yeah.
out of Earth. Yeah, out of planet Earth. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. I tell everybody, I'm like, hey, you know what your problem is? You can just get a Toyota.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
truck I tell everybody to get. Get a
oh my
model
gosh.
Toyota Tundra. It's the best truck ever. But yeah, I love this truck. I'm
Right.
sitting at 180,000 miles now. Basically, like 179,900 and something.
Damn.
So that's badass. And then I have a 2001 Lexus IS 300. And for anybody that doesn't know, that car comes with a 2JZ engine. And if you don't know what that is, then you need to watch Fast and the Furious or something, because that car is all over the place on that thing. That engine also comes in the Toyota Supra, and the reason I got that car was because when I got it, I think I was 20, 21 years old. I wanted a Toyota Supra, but they're just so damn expensive. I mean, they're hard to find, and I was like, man, well, I can't afford them. Like, I'll just get this car instead. It's a really good car, and right now I've done a lot of work to that car. I've done big turbo. I did a lot of OEM plus stuff with that car. It comes naturally aspirated, so I did a lot of stuff to convert it to turbo. Obviously, the exhaust manifold to turbo. I fabricated my own downpipe. I fabricated my own mid pipe. It has a Grady exhaust system, and I took off. Exhaust comes with the resonator and the muffler. Chopped off that resonator and welded in a straight pipe. I TIG welded in a straight pipe. I did all this stuff. I did myself, and then I have a whole new fuel system with AN lines. It's a billet fuel pump hanger. It's a Walbro 450 fuel pump. 450 Hellcat fuel pump. Um, 1000cc injectors, the works, the aftermarket computer, the works, though, the works,
God
yeah.
dang.
And
Hell
then so
yeah.
that car is awesome. That was my baby. That's my first project. And then I have a 2005 Lexus LS 430, and I was going to use that as another daily, but it's going to cost too much to like actually like fix it the way I wanted to and get it to drive right. So I think I'm just going to end up selling that one. But then I just got a 1993 Toyota Supra Mark IV, and that is like the end all be all cars of like Japanese cars. Like if you know, you know, kind of car. Like that's the one that'll turn heads whenever it's. Oh man, it's so cool. That's so cool. I finally got it. The reason I got my IS 300 was because I wanted a Supra, and now I got my Supra. But I'm still gonna keep my IS 300. I'm gonna keep it probably the way it is, but that Supra's gonna get all the love now. I was getting all the love. So
Hell yeah,
yeah,
dude.
that one I'm gonna probably just rebuild the engine, manual swap it with the T56 kit, which that's just a 6-speed manual kit that a company offers, and just rebuild it, make it nice. Really, that's really what it is, honestly, with that Supra. So that's cool. Yeah,
Hell yeah. No, dude, that's badass. I mean, I mean, for those that are listening, man, I mean, I'm not a car guru. I don't, that's just not my thing. If you know me, you know I love to
yeah,
fish.
yeah.
That's my thing. That's like me telling you, hey, this is where the fish are. They're on these bluff walls, or you need to go to this
No,
point and throw this
yeah,
drop shot. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
I mean,
Like,
I'm like,
but dude, that's
yeah,
freaking awesome. I had to ask because Devin was like, asked Devin. I said, "Hey man, what's one thing you think I should ask Theo Isaiah?" And he's like, "Yeah, you should ask him this." I
yeah,
was like, "Okay, sweet, I'll
yeah.
ask him that." So I mean, hey man, for any of the car gurus out there, anybody listening that's into cars, I'm gonna go ahead and hit on this, Isaiah. Where can anyone find
Oh yeah,
you?
so I have a car Instagram page. That one is Dylan.2J. It's DYLAN.2J. Just like that. And that's where you'll find, I'll post my car stuff. Um, my Supra, my IS 300. And I also have a YouTube channel. I don't really post on there. I haven't posted on there in like a couple years. But now that I have the Supra, I'm starting to record and archive videos. So like the more stuff I do to it, I can just release 1 week, release 1 week, release 1 week, instead of like, oh, I did this and I have to wait a couple more months, and oh, I did this again. But yeah, the YouTube channel, just my name, Isaiah Sainz. Um, and I haven't posted my Supra on there yet, but eventually I'll get to it, because I want to archive more videos first, and then I'll start posting like what I have saved. But yeah, the Instagram, you can mainly find me there. That's my car page and stuff like that, and yeah, that's really what I post is just my car.
Hell yeah,
And
dude.
yep.
Sweet, man. Well, any final piece of advice or message you'd like to leave with the listeners
Mm,
besides the one that
yeah.
you already said? I mean, we already touched on the younger generation and little piece of advice for them. But and if you ain't got it, then you ain't got it. It
One
is what
okay,
it is.
one guy I like to tell myself a lot is just be grateful every day that you're able just to wake up and that you have life every day. Because tomorrow is never guaranteed, and live your life like there is no tomorrow. That's also a piece of advice I like to do. I like to say.
Bro, that was money. I don't even want to say anything else. Just
Yeah, 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 yeah.
like, bro, dude, thank you for taking the time out of your day to hop
Of course.
on. Again, this is episode number 3 of the Sovereign Talks
Yeah, thanks for
podcast.
running. Let's
Let's
fucking
fucking
go.
go.
Yeah. That was cool. That was cool.
Oh
Yeah.
man, dude. That was dope as
Yeah, yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
And then I mean, I can trim shit out and I can edit
Yeah.
shit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk about anything else, we can. But if you got to go, man, I
Yeah, I
understand.
think I gotta head to my buddy's house here in a bit. I think he got home like a couple minutes ago, so go spend the weekend in Dallas, go hit the casino tomorrow, go to the Choctaw, and live my life like there's no tomorrow, I guess, over there. Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
But
Oh man, dude. All right, Isaiah. Hey man, dude. Thanks for
yeah, thanks
hopping
for
on,
inviting
man.
me.
For
It's
real
cool.
though.
I love
I
you,
love you,
Bubba.
man. You down to do it again one of these
Yeah,
days?
yeah, I can be down. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, dude. All right, man. Well, hey, man, be careful over there.
All right,
Love
you
you.
too.
And
All
we'll
right,
talk
peace
to you
out.
later.